In their news release from the day of the killing, the CPD claimed the incident was a result of an armed confrontation. To find out whether the incident occurred as described by the police, we set out to investigate the movements of each character. To do so, we placed each camera within a 3D model, accounting for the lens distortions at the extremities of each frame. We tracked the movement of each of the police body-worn cameras. Using 3D figures, we then modeled each person's positions. In this case, police officer Megan Fleming. Spatial markers, such as paving stones, allowed us to more accurately determine the figure's position. We modeled their positions and movements from multiple camera perspectives. The same process was used to model the movements of each other character in the scene. The dynamic model thus allows us to interrogate the incident from different perspectives and speeds, revealing nuances of the event's choreography. At 5:30 and 2 seconds, Harith Augustus first passed a group of police officers. They began following him, starting the process of an investigatory stop, defined as the temporary detention and questionings of a person based on reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. At 5:30 and 12 seconds, Megan Fleming and Danny Tan waved to Quincy Jones, pointing to Harith Augustus's right-hand side. Quincy Jones then gestured to Augustus as he walked by. At 5:30 and 24 seconds, Augustus stopped to talk to Quincy Jones. At this moment, Danny Tan drew his gun. At the same time, Quincy Jones had also drawn his gun. Despite this, no police officers turned their body-worn cameras to event mode. As the other officers approach, we see a sign that says no guns are allowed on the front door of the supermarket. These signs have become commonplace in Chicago since 2013, when the state of Illinois allowed the carrying of concealed weapons. From that time, carrying a gun could no longer be treated as an offense in itself. At 5:30 and 34 seconds, Quincy Jones can be seen talking to Augustus. Augustus seems fully cooperative as he took out his wallet. At the same time, Megan Fleming swiftly approached Augustus from behind, her hand stretching forward as she attempted to grab his hand, missing it. In her statement, Fleming said she attempted to handcuff him. No verbal warning preceded this approach as required by the CPD's directive. Her attempt to apprehend Augustus with the use of physical force was unjustified, because Augustus was cooperative and could have been carrying a gun legally. This still frame shows his firearms owner's identification card, which Augustus clearly tried to show to Quincy Jones. Augustus would have also needed to show a conceal and carry license, but he wasn't given the opportunity to show any permit. At 5:30 and 37 seconds, Augustus tried to free himself from the officer's grasp. Danny Tan held Augustus's right arm, and Dylan Halley tried to grasp Augustus's other hand and missed. Fleming then gripped Augustus's shirt, and Halley started raising his gun at Augustus. We looked closer at the interaction between Fleming and Augustus. Augustus broke free from Fleming. 1 second later, Augustus turned and started running away. When we first see Augustus's gun, it seems to be attached to his trousers. The trousers belt line is significantly sagging under his underwear line. At 5:30 and 39 seconds, Dylan Halley started a continuous movement that led to the shooting. Pushing Megan Fleming's right arm to clear his line of fire, steadying his gun with his left hand, stabilizing his aim to shoot. There was still no verbal warning issued throughout this process. Seconds later, Augustus seems to be touching the holster. Based on the available evidence and the fact that Augustus's gun weighed nearly 2 pounds and was attached to his pants, we cannot ascertain whether Augustus was trying to pull it, as the police claimed, or trying to steady it in order to run away. At 5:30 and 40 seconds, Halley shot for the first time. 4 shots followed. The body cameras make the incident visible from the perspective of the police officers. It is, however, important to experience the incident from Augustus's perspective, which was so far unavailable. We have modeled it in real time. And then freezing on significant moments. When Megan Fleming first apprehends him, when Dylan Halley raised his gun, and when Halley took the first shot. At the end of the incident, Augustus was lying in the middle of the street, his left hand still holding on to the wallet that had his gun ownership license. On his right side, the gun secured in its holster. At 5:30 and 53 seconds, Quincy Jones unfastened Augustus's holster, removed the gun, and took it away. This proves that Augustus never drew his gun.